Let me go ahead and address this ridiculous assumption. Researchers prove that cannabis removes the Alzheimer's protein from the brain. Let's consider these things. Most people would know that smoking weed, good, bad, and different. I don't, it does a lot of good things for the body. How could that remove a protein which was never revealed by people that were researching to ever exist? Because Alzheimer's, uh, the lack of memory, is because of the flow of. So apparently, I just got okay. Let's try this again. So your brain has water in it. Should be about like 93% water. Water. Not marijuana smoke. Nothing wrong with it. I'm sure your body has plenty of reasons to use cannabis, cannabinoids, nicotine, even all of these different substances. But your brain isn't made of that, and the ability to remove Alzheimer proteins doesn't make a lot of sense. Now it could be that there are actually plaque protein buildups within someone's brain, the gray matter, which should be 93% water. So if researchers, who are these researchers, and why do they tell you to smoke more weed, which everyone knows makes you have a short-term memory loss, and in fact probably influences long-term memory loss. Nobody wants to talk about that, huh? So how could researchers prove that smoking more weed makes Alzheimer's go away when in fact let's um let's consider this really quickly here. Here's the idea. If you consume weed, whether it's by butter or by smoking it, that's an element. Where's it going? It's going to go in the blood system. What is the cleanest thing you can think of? I would say it's distilled water or urine. Pick one. But let's go with distilled water because I don't think we can go that deep to explain to people what Shivambu is here. But the suggestion is if I smoke some weed, it's going to make my brain function better. I'm going to have a better memory because Alzheimer's is the lack of having any ability to have the mind function in a way to have any remembrance of something. Memory, the word means water and light. Memory. I don't find how smoking any plant substance will give you a better memory. Look up the words. Mem, ori, water, light. Where do you get more water? Not by smoking weed. And again, I'm not against smoking weed. I'm just saying there's no way that's causing the brain to function at a higher level. How could someone possibly say researchers? Okay, researchers. Who are they? How do they research this? Explain to me how do they research that smoking a plant will give you better memory? I'm not saying it doesn't, but I would say classically we could um, approve of this simple statement that everybody knows. If you smoke some weed, where'd you put your keys? Where did it go? That seems like Alzheimer's, doesn't it? Doesn't it seem like you'd be more apt to not remembering something? So remembrance comes from memory. Mem. Ori, water, light. Remembrance. Mem. Remem. Remem. Is this making sense? So here's how the brain functions because you have what is the the veins and the so the blood input system and the blood output, and you could call it water input and water output. So there could be proteins there that are in the way of um, making connections neurologically. How would one assume that by putting more data, pieces, bits of butter or weed, whatever, however they make, that's going to make the brain function at a higher capacity? When in reality, water seems to do that at a better, like, if you fast on water, not only does it cleanse your body, but it cleans your mind out. But if we smoke more weed, we'll get rid of proteins of what is a protein? I mean, let's start at the basic. Let's go right to base camp. What is protein? What are proteins made of? Is a protein muscle? How do you make muscle? Is your brain a muscle? If you put water into your body, it's cleansative. Be like water, Bruce Lee said. Now, was Bruce Lee a scholar? Is he a saint? Is he a... I don't know. But it seems like if you put more of the fluid, which is part of memory, into your system, you would acquire the ability to have more memory. Your body should be 70% water and your brain should be 93% water. How do you know this? Because watermelon and all the other melons are about 90 to 95% water. And if I knock on my skull, knock, knock, there's water in there. I can hear it. And it same as, that's why it's brain food. It's good for your brain. So a lot of people might not follow this logic here, but the word brain is the word B, and then RAIN, which is rain, to be rain. So what we suggest to people and attempt to do is make things very simple and not complicated. What does it cost for some grass these days, now that it's medically provided to people? What, 50 bucks for an eighth? What's that going to do for you? You could get clean, clear water. Water. When you drink water, isn't it refreshing? Isn't it cleansative? Doesn't it allow for your body to move better? Wouldn't that make sense that your brain would function better if you consumed clean liquids? Clean liquids would be fruit juices, water, urine, alcohol. These are clean distilled liquids. But then somebody says, if you smoke something, it's going to remove protein from your brain. How could it? How? What's the process? When I know that if I drink water, it goes into my stomach and then through my cerebral spinal fluid up into my house, my temple of Golgotha. And it cleans out my brain and it allows different neurological connections to be made that wouldn't happen if, so be it, that the proteins that are causing a malfunction in your system, which are related to having, I don't remember, I can't recall those proteins that are part of the, I can't even remember what the word is. What is it? Oh, it's when you can't remember something. But if you put water in there, that water, it collects and grabs onto things in your body and in your brain that you don't need. Those proteins that are stuck in your skull will be removed more quickly, more readily through the use of water, distilled, especially urine, juices. Vodka is probably the best one because that means fire water. That's literally what vodka means. It's water, vodka. But I'm not suggesting people go drink. I'm suggesting people consider the idea that water, in and of itself, is a higher form of knowledge, which allows for knowledge to exist because it's in the remembrance and the memory system. Memory. Remembrance. Mem. I think that means water, right? Did we already establish this or no? I swear it's so funny sometimes. It's like this information is there, it's available. And information, it's called information. So how do you inform yourself? Thank you, Matthew Maxwell. Shivambu is the destroyer of senility. I never heard that word before. I like it. Like senile, to be senile. Yeah, Shivambu is there's a real close relationship to the dark matter of what's that pasty um it's like a that black tar shit that they, what the fuck is the name of it? Here, hold on, I go grab some. Let me go see. Let's find out. Here you go. So we have this thing. It's like it's really interesting paste. So you have the clear or the white and the black magic. Okay, there it is. Ooh, it's called She Legit. She Legit black magic, black Mother Earth magic. And then you have water magic. You have the people that carry the knowledge of the water. It's funny, even though I'm an breatharian type creature, that I have more. She legit, right? Him, Matthew Heroin. Maybe, like, look it. It's called She is Legit or Heroin, right? Could be. I don't know. I don't. This is reserved for um, occasional practices, but the Black Mother Earth arts magic. There it is. It's a very funky smell. Anyways, the point here is, for your brain to fire properly, you want to remove certain objects. And if they are proteins, water grabs inorganic. So you have what is called insoluble and soluble fibers in your system, and you also have water that goes into your head and grabs onto inorganic substances and removes them. And that's what, if they call it a protein, then we better get a better, we better start thinking about what does the word protein mean, and how is protein made, and what is all of that. What is a protein? Protein comes from the word protease. Protease means pro. It means original, or basically original source of something. But we know that you can't just eat protein and get protein out of it, because you have to digest it, which means to digest, to split apart. So if you take amino acids, the amino acids, they want to be, everyone wants to be completely free of any acid in their nature. They want to be completely, absolutely alkalinic. But yet amino acids are the things that bond to create a protein. Isn't that not right? Or so you don't eat proteins to, proteins are built in your body. They're built into you. They're built by the things that you consume. Some good, some bad. but you can remove them once again. Use of water, urine, urea, fruit juices. Certain types of alcohol are better than others. So there you go. Let me see if anybody's here. I'm gonna dip out of here in a second, though. Um, yeah. So you got Shakti, Shivambu. Look at you got a lot of S words here, Matthew Maxwell. Shivambu, Shakti, Shiva, she legit. Maybe that'll be the lesson. Maybe I'll do a lesson tomorrow on those 4 words. Because I was looking at this I don't know whose channel it was on I don't know, one of fucking Instagram or whatever, and it said it was the title screen of this, and I was like, that's just not absolutely even nearing fact, because every single word there didn't make sense as a like a holistic viewpoint or a sentence. A researcher. Who was this? Researchers in general? Okay, everybody's a researcher. Everyone's a scientist, everyone's a researcher, and everyone's a human. And okay. So somebody said if you smoke weed, your brain becomes smarter. You become more like, you have more memory. How does that even fucking function? And that's the shit. And it's, I think probably it was probably a Instagram that was selling. Yeah, exactly. It was probably selling some product that had to do with weed. And again, weed is not a bad thing. It's just, like, how is it now so popular? Why does the people that tax everything and government controls and blah blah blah? It's money. Why was it illegal for so long? It's a trick. It's a trick. And now all of a sudden, here you go, everybody go smoke some weed. It's gonna make your Alzheimer's go away. You're gonna forget that you had it. To remember, get the fuck out of here. Matthew, good to talk to you, man. It definitely does. It does show short term, probably long term. I just, you know, we'll talk. They do weird things. Smoke weed if you want. Drink if you want. Also consume water. It's good for you. A wine here and there, and have fun. Talk to you guys soon.